So I want to give you a heads up on the tape wheel. We built it into our Boonie system where you can switch out for different setups. And let's say on your original setup, you got, a multi, this typically is happening with a multi-pin sight where you have, 20, 30, 40, 50, you have a 4-pin sight on there and it's gapped out at 10-yard increments. When you switch out to a different arrow and you're gonna, take your old tape wheel off and put your new tape wheel on and get it all set up, keep in mind, if you get it set for your 20-yard pin, you can trust that your 20-yard pin is 20 yards. But if you have a different weight arrow for one tape wheel versus the other tape wheel, you're no longer going to be able to trust that those are 10-yard gaps. I mean, they're typically not going to be 10-yard gaps. If you had 10-yard gaps on this setup and you change the weight of your arrow, they're not going to be 10-yard gaps on the other setup. And that goes for your pointers too. Now, given your pointers are still going to read accurate, for what they actually read if you have multi-pointers on there, but they're just not necessarily going to be 10-yard gaps. So keep in mind when you're switching back and forth on different setups and using the tape wheel concept for what it's designed for, you may not necessarily have it be identical to your previous setup unless you want to go through the effort to change your pointers, change your pin gaps, and do all that effort, which kind of defeats the purpose of the switchback. What you typically want to do is just use your top pin, like your 20-yard pin on one setup, and then when you switch back to the other tape, you're using the full rack of your pins.